Guten Tag and welcome to BunkaMania here on Twitch, or if you're watching on YouTube or listening on the audio version. Hello, I am of course the Dekker Dane. I am joined by Harriett and Matty. Say hello.
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 I don't know any German.
It's fine. Simple things. You could just what was it? Guten Tag. There you go. Just say Guten Tag and that's hello.
Guten
Guten
Tag.
Tag. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Wie geht's?
Good, yes.
Gut.
Yeah.
Sehr gut. Sehr gut. That's all the German I kind of know. apart from small little bits and pieces, like do is sehr faul. You are very lazy. It's like, well, probably if you're sat on the stairs, Randy, you might win the championship, but we'll come back to that later. But yes, hello, welcome to BunkaMania. We are talking all things WWE Bash in Berlin, which is the latest international show, premium live event, which happened last night over in, of all places, Berlin. Clues in the title there, Dane. But yes, of course, if you're watching us live and you're in the chat, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, do let us know your thoughts on the show. Say hi, send us your thoughts, and we'll read some out during the show. Right, I think this is going to be probably a very short episode. We'll try and be here for about 45 minutes to an hour, mostly because it's like I think the way we can probably sum up Bash in Berlin. And I think we had a chat about this yesterday because we watched the show together. We watched it through like Discord. We kind of came away saying it's a fine show. The international crowd made it a nice show, but it's one of those sort of, you've just got some nice wrestling and nothing's changed. We move on.
Indeed.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's very much as pretty much rinse repeat of all the European shows and international shows that have been so far. Everyone goes home happy. Everyone's had a great time. The crowd has thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and Germany was not on par with France, but you know, they were on par with, like, say, Scotland and Australia. But still, it is good to see other crowds react to wrestling other than America, which is literally what 90% of the time now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in agreement with Harriet here because they kept bringing up the decibel reader that they do in all of their off Atlantic shows now, and I think we read it was something like 120 for France, and it was like it was a competition. You got to be in competition with each other.
Yeah, they kind of did do this spell, and it's like they didn't do anything. They had, as they started every show, they started with the WWE spy satellite going across the globe to find where they're going. It's like, we found a place. It's called Berlin. It's in Germany.
It was the Uber Stadium.
This is where Uber possibly was founded. We're not sure. Michael Cole, your facts are off the chart. Didn't say that in the show, by the way. I'm well aware. I'm well aware the Uber Arena is not where Uber or Uber Eats.
Can you imagine? Oh god, we're not even 2 minutes in. We're already cracking.
Yeah,
it's a laughter break. We are laughing, and then we have to be efficient and go. Laughing time is over. Anyway, Simpsons reference there for everyone. Bit of Rennie Wolf Castle. Yeah, I think yeah, it's like it's. I mean, it's been a couple of hours since we've watched the show, and essentially, it's like the crowd make it a really nice special atmosphere, and they were on great form throughout the entire show. They were really, really fun, and it's like when it's in like it's like a standard arena and that sort of special show. Yes, absolutely, it makes a hell of a lot of difference in terms of the presentation, in terms of things. It's those little aspects of, and I think we talked about this yesterday, but I think it was you, Matty, who made this point, but they've got a really good sort of like the presentation game of the entire weekend for an event, for any of their PLEs now, is so neatly kind of packaged together. You start with the kickoff show, which is like the nice free for all in a like outside the arena or somewhere in town. Then you have the pre-show, you have the main event, and then you have the post-show. It's a nice sort of, it's a full kind of sports presentation base, which they've been which they've really excelled in since the whole heap of changes that's happened backstage and production side of things. So yeah, I think all of that is like it's a nice tidy 5 hours so experience of beginning, show, and then end, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think when you come to look at the matches, and we'll do the play-by-play very shortly. It's like I don't think we were expecting a lot of changes. I think if there was a massive change in any of the world title scenes, we'd be probably stunned. But no, it's just basically, I think everyone kind of sensed what they were getting, but it's basically nice, solid Saturday afternoon if you were watching America, or Saturday evening wrestling. And you can't say anything. I mean, the wrestling standard, the wrestling strong, the wrestling was good. There's very little you can kind of really frown upon, I think, on this show. I mean, if you were expecting the whole world to suddenly change in Berlin, wasn't happening. Well, except in the women's title match. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm in absolute full agreement with you here. Yet again, with me, I mean, wrestling for me now is a thing where I've got to watch it with people. I've really got to, because I've now watched shows on my own and they just don't have the same impact. And yet again, full disclaimer, like Ian's basically said it, we all had access independently to our own feeds. It's just that we were talking to each other via Discord, and also so that we're in sync with each other, we also had a master feed we can all just sort of look at while we chat to each other during the main event, because otherwise there'll be a case of one person will be like 30 seconds ahead of us or a minute behind us, and it was just the dumb thing. But yeah, again, just watching it with these guys and watching it with Felth, who's an absolute non-wrestling fan, who then discovered during the course of the evening that Larry the dog is definitely a dog that exists. More on that later. It's just a great experience. And them taking, which is essentially a B show, a show with no real importance other than fill a slot in a calendar. Whenever they take these B shows abroad, it just heightens them so much. Like, the big shows are the big shows. And on the B shows, you're also in for a good time because of the quality of the wrestling on show and the quality of the entertainment on show and the full fan participation as well in a non-douchey way. What more can you say? It's so good.
Yes, I was watching the Wrestle Talk review this morning, and I think Pete made a really kind of good case. It's like, why don't you just make all your B pay-per-views like a trip around the world? You kind of make that, you kind of really heighten the world and wrestling entertainment. And it's like, yes, this would be fun. I mean, from story aspects, it might throw, because with certain wrestlers, there's the visa issues, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, in terms of it's fun. I mean, I think this is the last one for the year that we go in international with WWE. I think we've got a couple of AEW shows which are going to go international next year. I think we've got Australia coming up for Grand Slam.
Or February, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we've got one of the Saudi shows later this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
which you do have to count as a show as on par with the other shows we've been getting so far this year.
Yeah.
So we've got that to come, but other than that, you're correct. We've got next year to look forward to now.
Yes,
absolutely. Nice comment in from Videx Glorious, and I'll put it on screen. I hope they keep the rhyming trend and we end up seeing a mash in Manchester or a smash in Cincinnati. Ooh.
And thank you for the subscription as well.
Thank you very much.
Literally was about to say on the end of that. So thank you very much appreciated.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Videx. There we go. I'm trying to think any towns that could.
I'd love to go to Ireland. If they did it in Ireland, that's a good excuse for me to go back, because if it's in Dublin, I'm only an hour away.
Just for a really bad one. I heard about the Ire in Ireland. There you go. Done.
Oh, Era. Yeah.
No, that the Ire. It's like the Ire. I-R-E. Spelled with Dane. It's fun. I've completely butchered that. But yes, the R,
I know what you
R
mean,
in
yeah.
Ireland is basically they're getting angry in Ireland with their R's. Or from Pizza Dawn, Dust Up in Dublin. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
No, you can't do dance in Dublin because they'll think river dance. No.
You're
Why
not
am I
wrong.
just-
I'm Irish. I'll
why-
give you that.
Why am I just thinking of Michael Flatley now, just kind of doing the river dance and then get into a fight with, I don't know, let's just say the Miz.
You do know that was the gimmick they saddled Becky Lynch with on her very first show on
Yes,
NXT, right?
she did the Irish dance then
I
on NXT.
do remember that. That was kind of like I'm here. I'm from Ireland. I'm just happy to be here. Oh dear.
How Irish can you be? Yes. Even in the
Right.
green.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Emerald green.
something Spain. The pain in Spain. There you go.
Oh.
Yes. Keep your ideas coming in the chat, everyone.
I
Yeah,
hope
please.
Sean's not here. I really hope Sean's not here.
Oh,
Somewhere out there, Shawn Michael Dunn has just sat up and gone, someone's
like-
doing bad jokes.
This is my moment.
It's like, lights the flames, I must appear in chat. Love you, Sean. Love you, Sean. Shawn Michael Dunn, a really good member of our community. Lovely member of our community. Right, let's start off our play-by-play. Opening match was Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship against his friend, commas, big commas for the moment, friend, and Kevin Owens, who now this match just really came together over 3 weeks. And it was a bit of a weird sort of thing of just Cody going, oh yeah, I just want to fight Kevin. And then Kevin Owens going, I don't really feel like I've earned this, and I don't really want to kind of have a match right now. Can I come back when I feel that I'm ready for this? And I think they've played a lot in the weeks running up to this. The idea that they are good friends, but Kevin might kind of turn. He might go back to his heelish early NXT days of being, I'm your friend, and then I'm going to powerbomb you against the apron. Just ask Sami Zayn. The last revelation the night before the show is like, oh, by the way, there's something wrong with your knee that I know, but no one else knows. It's like, oh, the adversity knee. which we coined as our phrase last night. Oh no.
I can't remember who coined that. I know
Might have
that
been-
Stitch. It might have been you. I know Stitch was leading right into it the whole night.
I know
Yeah.
there was the initial the adversity previously after Cody tore his pec. But no, because
Yeah.
it was just like, oh, I know there's something wrong with your knee, Cody, but I don't want it. I want you 100%. And it's like, okay, we're going into this weird story of a knee injury. I mean, the match itself was very good. Cody and Kevin have really great chemistry. They were always going to put on a really good, strong match. And it's kind of like, it was a good, decent sort of back and forth. They were kind of civil because they were both like baby faces at this time. But when the match started really picking up and they're really kind of going, okay, I'm going to really hit you with this punch and all this sort of stuff, it started to really kind of amp up a bit. Despite the fact you still knew Cody was winning. It's just like, it was kind of like, how is it going to happen? Is he going to win like a normal Crossroads? Is he going to just escape with a roll up or something like that? And it kind of, the knee aspect really came into it because Cody tried to do like a big high risk Cody cutter, knee buckled, and then KO didn't want to take advantage of it. But Cody goes, no, I'm good. Let's fight. And KO once again almost looked like he was going to kind of veer into the NXT days with the good old fashioned powerbomb against the apron. He didn't do it. Wade Barrett going, Kevin, what are you doing? I'm Wade Barrett. It's a terrible Wade Barrett impersonation. I can do it better. I really can.
I can definitely do it better.
I used to be in movies, Michael. I was in Eliminators with Scott Atkins. And Vengeance.
This isn't even my final form.
You like Bud Alcoholic, like seltzer. I'm sorry, Michael. I'm not sexy Wade Barrett a la SummerSlam 2024. My tie's on. My suit's well adjusted. I'm here to work.
Just don't catch me on my phone. I'm on Tinder right now.
I like it here in Germany. I've had beer and a bratwurst. That makes me one of the people. No way, it doesn't.
Do you know what, Michael? Friendship is magic.
Yes, indeed. Pete in the Pizza Don in the chat said, I did like Wade going off on Kevin for not pulling the trigger and saying that he has not won a single title in years because of it. This is still the shocking fact that he's not held a singles title for years. And that is
I didn't realize 7 years.
I think the last one he had was the Intercontinental, wasn't it? Because he was US champion for a little while.
It might have been Intercontinental. No, I think he held Intercontinental before US. I think US was the last one because you had that weird back and forth of AJ with the accidental title change as well.
I suppose there was that. So. I mean, the NXT champion, he was definitely multiple-time tag team champion. Universal champion.
Once.
He was that before he was US champion.
Yeah.
And then he was the face of America in SmackDown for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yeah, so Kevin didn't pull the trigger. Eventually, Cody managed to hit a crossroads to survive. And just when you think they're going to turn, they have a hug. KO doesn't want to have a moment with the cameraman, pushes the camera away. And yeah, they just they leave as friends, brackets for now.
It was a good touch. It was a really good touch, him shoving the cameraman. As surprising as it was, because just before you just saw.
He kind of had that kind of like, I'm not angry, but I am really angry at the same time.
Right. It was, the blank expression, the doom face on his face. And it's like, that camera's right in my face right now. Get the heck out.
Literally just, shoved it.
Like, I'm processing the fact that I've still not won the belt. Oh, dear. Out of the way.
But also friendship.
Friendship wins in the end.
Friendship is magic, Michael.
It's magic, Michael. I used to be friends with people in a League of Nations. It went wrong, Michael. It got me out of the company for a bit. And then I went to make movies. I haven't forgiven them for that.
What, the movies? Or
both. Can I have some more Bud Alcoholic Light Seltzer? Actually, I had one of those. It tasted very weird. It just basically tastes like it's fizzy water, just with a hint of alcohol. That's all it did. It tasted of nothing. I don't know how it was delicious. I don't know. That's just me. No, we're not
advertised by that, by the way.
We're not advertised by Bud. Just to put it out there right now. Anyway, moving on, we have the women's tag team match. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill taking on the unholy alliance or the unholy union of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. I was about to say Kaylee Ray because incidentally, my memories on Facebook were reminding me, oh, by the way, you went to see NXT Cardiff TakeOver 5 years ago. And half of the wrestlers on this show were on this show as well. So it's like
under their original names as well. They didn't change their names.
Yes.
Kaylee Ray was Kaylee Ray. Volta was Volta.
Yeah, Kaylee Ray became women's NXT champion that night, beating Toni Storm in classic Toni Storm attire before Golden Starlet age Toni Storm, all that sort of stuff. And Walter / Gunther versus Tyler Bate. Fun night. But yes, tag team match for the women's tag team belts. Fairly there was going to be a title change. This was the one, and it felt like it was coming. The belts were going back to Jade and Bianca. I haven't really got much to really kind of go on this match. I think it was a fine match. It has its usual spots of building up to the Jade tag in. But other than that, there's not much I can really kind of delve into this one. I watched it as like, it's a match. It's serviceable, fine. Result, fine. It's just, I think the thing is with the division, I think we have talked about this before on the show, that the women's tag division in WWE does need some work. I know they're introducing teams, they've got the factions and all that, but no factional team seems like the legitimate owners of those belts, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, because the actual tag titles themselves are the afterthought in all of this. They are. Yeah, I was just going to say they are what the men's tag team division was like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Mm.
it doesn't seem like it's taken seriously. It's only kind of in the last year, I suppose, it's kind of become more significant, especially since Jade has come in and teamed up with Bianca. But before then, it was literally, like you said, an afterthought. But now, I don't know. I know it's kind of hot potato at the moment as it was prior, but I think the win was appropriate at Clash at Castle. And now it seems appropriate now for this win again. So it seems like it is somewhat being taken seriously again.
So here's a question, just to kind of put out there. What obviously we've got the women's world championships on both brands. Do you think there would be more value adding in the mid-card title, like a Intercontinental, a United States women's championship per se, than say the tag team belts right now?
Yes.
Yep. I think so. I think they're introducing it into NXT, aren't they?
They had the North American.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, they already have the Women's North American Championship, which is basically the North American Championship, but in white. There was apparently some kind of leak a while back saying they were thinking of having a Women's Intercontinental Champion, to which I say put that strap straight onto Shayna Baszler immediately. But this is the WWE's handling of Shayna Baszler, so...
Well,
but there we go.
No, I think there should be a belt, especially because there is another one in AEW. There is like technically 2 women's titles belt in AEW. There should be 2 in WWE, I think for sure. And yeah, definitely take away the tag, because you've got tags on the men's tags on both sides, but you've only got one for the women's. Scrap that. Just stick with one. Just like semi-title, I suppose.
And even with the men's tags as well, the tag division seem a bit kind of fluctuating in a negative way. You've got these teams, but you're not necessarily having the teams per se. I mean, for example, it makes. I mean, I was a bit disappointed DIY didn't hold those belts a little bit longer, because understandably for storyline, I get why Bloodline would take the belts. I do get that, but doing it like 3 weeks after they had won the belt seems a bit kind of mean. That's just me.
Absolutely. I mean, I can literally, I have done multiple times, I could literally just go into one about the handling of the women's division on both main companies, and that TNA Wrestling is so much better for their handling of the women. I could do that, but again, as Jeremy and I have said in the past, that is a topic for an entirely different podcast, mainly because I will go off on one about it. But yeah, to cut a long story short, yes, I think we need a women's US title and a women's Intercontinental. Or here's a crazy idea: have them with unique names, so they got 2 entirely different things, and you don't even have to have the word women's in it at all, because we know the TBS Championship is a women's title. You don't need to spell it out. So you can just have a unique title with its own unique name, and you say that is a mid-card title for the women. The women, and they will elevate that to the point where the women's title above that is a world championship. Easy.
I mean, that way we do end up with the USA Network Championship and the Netflix Championship in January.
I wasn't going to go there. I think the TBS and TNT titles are stupid names, but that's just me.
Now you've said that.
Or how about just the TKO Championship? There you go. It's the best of... No, that'll have to be the best of both worlds, and that means it'll have to be defended UFC and WWE.
Dane. You say this like you think the WWE stay on the network for long. They literally just left Fox, Dane.
Oh yeah, the Fox Championship. Next? Why not?
The Netflix title. Hey to the Netflix title.
It's gonna have
the streaming title.
It's a red strap. It's black, and when it's held up, you have the da-dum. Yes. Call me, Netflix. Call me.
Oh my god!
So you just have Samantha Irvin in the middle of the ring saying the following match is for the ta-dum championship.
And knowing her, she'd get that spot on.
She would. She would. Pitch perfect to the note as well. Oh. Let's leave the channel branded belts and let's talk about another belt, a strap, if you would. And it's a wonderful segue into our next match, which is the latest chapter of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. But this time they're strapped together with a very long piece of leather in a strap match. And we're pressing turnbuckles to make lights go up. It's that version of a strap match. You can tell how much I liked this match format just by the way I've kind of gone off into, oh God, this idea is terrible.
Matty absolutely loved it, as you can see.
I mean,
why?
The color scheme was wrong.
Why? Why?
Wrestling.
No.
Wrestling.
Was that wrestling? That's not freaking wrestling. That's
wrestling.
A game of Simon. That's a game of Simon. That's hit the button, get a light.
It's a bop it. Bop it. Whip it.
Do you know what? Do you know what calls? Oh, do you know what calls for a blood feud where friendship bracelets are being defiled and everything? Yeah, let's go press a bunch of lights. Ah!
Not with aggression, with gentle firmness. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I have fallen over and I cannot get up. Back to the start for me.
Oh no, it's restarted.
Oh no, not again. This match brought to you, of course, by The Killer's Game, out in cinema September 13th. I think that's the US date. I don't know if it's the UK date.
I hated this. I hated this as a concept. You have a strap. We have you guys can just laugh. I'm going off on one. I don't care. You guys get yourselves composed. I'm gonna go off on one, and then when you're ready to join in. A strap match is where you have a blood feud. They smack the crap out of each other. Do you know what I wanted? I wanted this to have no buttons pressed at all. Nothing happens. They literally call the match off because they messed each other's shit up too much. And then you go to Bad Blood and you get a Hell in a Cell and then you finally end it there. But no. Bloody stupid.
You're right there, Maddie. You're right there, Maddie.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I'm also going to smite this bot on blinking. There we go. Harriett smited it for me.
Smite them like you're hitting the corner flag.
Whip it.
The corner flag, the corner size.
Red light, green light situations. God darn it.
They should have had the crowd going 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
Do you know what didn't? What didn't help? The fact that the things on each of the 4 corners of the ring also look like telephone poles.
Better transmission.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That was
of course they were.
What everyone to watch it.
I
just brought it closer.
I will say, despite the stupidity of the stipulation, it was a very fun match regardless.
I really enjoyed it.
Do you know what? I like the actual bits where they were smacking the crap out of each other, and I like the psychology of the match between. Unfortunately, it was also ruined by them trying to struggle to press a light.
It was a case, yeah.
I mean, how do you know, Matty, when you're strapped to a very angry Scotsman or a passionate CM Punk, how you know you're gonna reach a corner turnbuckle?
I've got the best solution. I offer them an iron brew and I try and just steadily toddle off. That's the best way, Dane. That's the best way.
Matty, you're still attached by the strap, Matty.
Drew, mate, it's absolutely fine. You can keep that friendship bracelet around your cock. It's absolutely fine. You can kiss it all you want. You can kiss that bracelet wherever you like. That's fine. It is now yours. Bye-bye. Here's another can of Iron Brew.
She hides hers.
There you go. Here comes the mature rating Dane did not want to put on this episode.
Oh well. Yeah,
We haven't sworn yet, so
Well,
Have I sworn
bugger.
yet? I don't think I have.
no.
I'm using
we
the
haven't.
first one as well in this show. Anyway, Harriet, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. It was the whole thing of like sort of thing, kind of being pulled away. Sorry. It was fun. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I think the right person won. Punk was the worthy winner of that. He got his bracelet back. I'm wondering how this is going to escalate now into the third and probably final match, because this is building up for a while.
I've got one. Sanitizer on a pole match. Whoever gets to sanitize the bracelet wins. I'm not letting it go. Carry on.
But in all, I enjoyed this. It was one of my favorite matches of the night, I will say. Yeah, it done what it needed to do. The whole button pressing, I'm sort of used to it, sort of thing. I was kind of surprised. I would have been surprised if it wasn't featured, though. You were right, the colors were wrong. Punk should have got red and Drew should have got green because of their attire, because Drew's wearing green and Punk wears red. But I think they were going for the good guy, bad guy sort of thing. So I don't know, but
True, but
right person won. Good match. Lots of whipping. I haven't seen the after photos of what it looked like after, because usually they do post it online, but I haven't seen anything so far apart from Punk walking or limping to the backstage, just going like that with the bracelet. But yeah, I liked it.
I will say again in a more composed manner, I actually like the psychology of the match.
The mat?
I'm the match.
The
mat.
Psychology of the matty.
I loved everything about it except for the actual stipulation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more intrigued now about the psychology of the mat, as in the MattyBoo, not the wrestling mat, but the MattyBoo. Anyway, in terms of Harriet needs to probably compose herself again.
I'm good.
There we go. It's all good. But no, this match was fun. They knocked 10 bells out of each other. Lots of strap whipping, all that sort of stuff. Punk had lovely white trunks on, and immediately said, "Someone's bleeding," and of course he would be bleeding. All that sort of stuff as well. What else was there? Also, I noted this on the pre-show, but even in the match, Punk had lovely hair. He had really nice conditioned hair today.
Yes, he did.
It was just like, you've come with L'Oreal because you're worth it. All that sort of stuff.
I also found it hilarious. They showed the trailer at the end. We did say this. They didn't even feature him at all, and it's just like, I think you said that's what he gets for losing. He wasn't featured.
Yes, because McIntyre's actually in the Killer's Game thing.
Yeah.
I think he's actually, ironically, connecting to Wade Barrow. I think he's like the on-screen brother or cousin or something like that, of Scott Adkins' character in the film.
Yeah,
which is quite funny. But also stars Batista. So there you go. I think in terms of where they go next, it's like, how do they amp it up to go to Bad Blood in a supposed Hell in a Cell match? Because it feels like it's like, yay, Punk's got the bracelet back. Unless Drew McIntyre beats the ever-loving shit out of him again and leaves him like in an even more bigger bloodied mess than he did after, I think, Clash at the Castle. It's kind of like, well, how do you, unless this is, well, I would say this is where you might get Rollins into the fray, but Rollins, I think, is going to have some business with Bronson Reed at the moment. So
true.
Not sure on that direction, to be perfectly honest. But I wouldn't be opposed to them doing it one more time in terms of another match. Just make it work. I think narratively to get there, it's fine. And considering this is like Punk's second singles match back into WWE, it's nice that he's able to. I think he's comfortably getting back into that groove of having matches. We're not all concerned for his injury status and all that sort of stuff. He seems comfortable. He still seems very happy to be there, and that's a nice thing. A happy Punk is a good Punk. Is all I can say.
Yeah, very much.
Right.
He likes his role of being NXT dad, basically.
Yes. Yes. the supposed heir apparent. Also, basically, I'm going to go around and just like all my kids is like, and then Roxanne press on. No, you're not. Go away. But I'm CM Punk. It'll be interesting to see if he turn. It'll be interesting to see if there's any like moments or just random appearances of him in the background or something like that at No Mercy tonight. But then he's definitely doing the very first episode on CW, which I think is in Chicago at the Allstate Arena, October 1st. I think. Yes, that's when they moved to.
Yeah.
Yes,
and Randy's going to be there as well.
Yes, when they go to St. Louis, but we'll talk about Randy later on. Yes, we have thoughts on that match. Moving on, so we go. I think arguably to probably, I think my favorite match of the evening is the mixed tag Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, looking to get revenge on that dastardly Dominic Mysterio and that very wicked Liv Morgan. And judging by Matty and Harriet's kind of expressions, I think I should let them go off and start talking about this match because I think they were both
I'll let you go first.
for different reasons.
I was about to say ladies first.
No, I think you should have this.
Your eyes have lit up, Matty.
So the Terror Twins kind of instill great feelings within me. I am a 44-year-old bisexual man, and both these people definitely bring forth very strong feelings in me, because that is a bisexual's dream come freaking true. I have grown to become a huge admirer of one certain Damian Priest, and I especially await the moment when he unearths his fantastic mammary glands. I am, of course, talking about his boobies. That being said, when he's not wearing the eyeshadow, he is starting to look a bit like Roman Reigns, and I don't know how to feel about that. Also, I just love that Harriet is just slowly turning beetroot as I'm saying all of this. This is going to be great when I pass the baton figuratively and literally towards her. But also, of course, let's not be said, and this is going to be a great segue. Mammy was definitely on show in this match. Literally, holy hell, holy hell, flames at the side of my face in a good way, but also
breathing flames.
Yep, and other things involved in there as well. And it's at this point I would like to pass it over to one Harriet Green.
You know it's serious when you use my second name.
Someone's in trouble.
Yeah, literally. Well, I don't know about that. Now, I love Rhea. I will say. So any Rhea match I really appreciate. I kind of wore this in this inspiration for Rhea today because I love her aesthetic. Yeah, that was a very good match. It was kind of right, okay, let's get Judgment Day. It was kind of like the whole coming of like every time Rhea's music appears, Liv is literally just I'm out sort of the building quicker than you can say. There's just like no running this time. It was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Obviously, you did have interference with Judgment Day, all the members coming out, but you know, they kind of the adversity kicked in, and it was just like, no, we're still going to defeat them. I think Rhea has now officially named that move. It's the pretzel wrap or something like that. She said it in the after show. Hold. No, literally the move at the end, where she, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But like Matty says, go on.
But
go on, you have questions.
Pretzel.
I know.
I mean, if you can look at a pretzel a certain way, it could be. It's like, I mean, it is two things combined together.
That's what she said. I don't know.
Pretzel. Hang on. I've got the perfect thing for this, right? Pretzel. Pretzel.
No, not Bucky O'Hare. We're not taking on the Toad minutes today.
I mean, I mean, I am literally a heterosexual woman, but I literally love Rhea Ripley. I don't care. It's just literally like
I think you're
I think
legally
she does
have
something
to.
to women. No, honestly, I really did enjoy this match. We did notice though, Judgment Day's writing has changed. So before it was kind of like the
Yes.
gothic-y, and now it's kind of gone.
It's like state penitentiary prison writing. Like,
There you go. That's a good way. Well,
yes,
to be
there's
fair,
no-
the way Dom dresses, and actually another thing
Yeah.
we brought up is what he dressed
Yeah.
as yesterday as well.
Because as much as they say there's no leaders, there clearly is one. I mean, other than Finn Balor, it's definitely aimed more towards Liv and Dominic now. Especially the color scheme, because they were all dressed in black and white.
Yes.
The whole of Judgment Day, whereas the Terror Twins went back to dressing in purple. So, yeah.
'Cause
Also,
they are kind of like the OG, so to speak.
yeah, they are. But even if they end up with two entirely different storylines, never break up the Terror Twins, because platonic love those two have is just absolutely beautiful to see. They are a brother and sister.
Yes.
And I hope they never do anything that sort of puts a wedge between the two of them, because what they got there is something really, really special.
I don't think either of them go through enough more betrayal because of the way the storyline has been going.
Yeah.
Please just leave them as they are now. Like, they're both sweet beings. I think
Absolutely.
they're great as a mixed tag and also as singles tag, because now obviously Damien doesn't have the belt anymore. Rhea doesn't.
Yeah.
So both good storylines in regards to chasing
Yeah.
them or.
Yeah, I think from a story perspective, I think we're going towards Liv and Rhea going for another match at some point. Again, I don't know if it's going to be. I think if you want to kind of make this sort of feud or like this battle of Terror Twins versus New Judgment Day, probably spread out a couple of more months before doing any sudden like definitive victories or definitive title changes, for example. Yeah. Because I think if you sped it through and basically gets a bad blood and Rhea wins the belt back, per se, it feels a bit rushed. I think Bad Blood's probably the best place you're going to start doing the Damien and Finn, the most evil of all Finns now, battle. Because because there's still bits that they've been teasing. So it's like Rhea was teasing hitting Riptide several times on Dominic. Always got fooled at last minute and that sort of thing. Damien didn't necessarily get his hands on Finn. He just had to take out his frustrations on JD or Dominic or Kalita, that sort of side of things. So yeah, I feel they're still holding off the big story beats for another show or for another pivotal like story beat moment. But yeah, I think if you're going to make New Judgment Day be more evil as a heel faction, then perhaps when we start that sort of stretch of the story, they're the ones winning. So it's like Liv doesn't drop her belt straight away to Rhea, and Finn probably beats Damien in their first match.
Yeah.
3
points. 3 points just popped up in my head while you were talking. Number one, Dominic Mysterio's La Parka game was strong this entire match. Like, it literally was just one hoodie away from being La Parka in his outfit. Number two, you could see that every participant in that match was just having a fantastic time. They were loving that match. And if they weren't loving that match, they did a damn good job of making us think they were having a great time in that ring. And I'm talking the people who lost as well as the people who won. And then number three, this is the most important point. And I brought this up when we were watching this, and we were all excited to see this. We saw a moment where we actually saw some genuine intergender wrestling between Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. If they weren't instantly called off, we actually saw a woman do a series of wrestling moves with the guy and back again. That is absolutely important here. I cannot stress this enough.
I saw a point actually online yesterday where the same move where she had her legs wrapped around his neck, that was the very first move she used on him in the match that they had against each other. So it's history repeating itself, sort of like, I hated you then, I hate you now, sort of thing.
You're giving me a good reason to whip all this out again, yeah.
I mean, yeah. It was, because it both had, especially Rhea definitely had grievances with Dom, especially after SummerSlam. So I was just like, yeah, hit him. Kill him.
Hit him again. Hit him harder.
Literally,
hit him,
everyone
Mammy.
was waiting for it.
I also want to point out Peter Siddon in the YouTube chat, which, by the way, if you are watching live, please, we absolutely beseech you, just don't suffer in silence. If you're lurking, great. But if you've got a point to make, either on our Twitch, we're also on YouTube, please get in the chat and get engaged. We really do want to see what you've got to offer here. Like Peter Siddon here, who says, Dominic Mysterio, the best mustache in WWE since Eli Cottonwood. What a line by...
I know.
What a line. I can't... The little heart is... Oh, Wade, before the match. Sorry. The little heart on the chat has obscured his name, so I couldn't see it. But yeah.
There's a throwback. Oh, my word.
But yes, absolutely, guys. Absolutely. We've got a chat. Twitch, YouTube. Don't suffer in silence. Say your piece on there. We will look at it as they come up.
Yes. I think in all this was a very fun match. The crowd ate it up. I think we all kind of enjoyed it for the sports soap opera silliness that it was. And
other reasons.
And other reasons. And probably more of this, please. The silly storyline reasons, of course. Or why not both? All of it. We just want more. Give us more. That's all. There you go. Then we moved on to the main event. Randy Orton. I do like Randall Keith Orton. It's quite a nice definitive name. It's a nice distinct name. But yes, Randy Orton seeks to get his 15th World Championship from Gunther. You can't really say he's the homeland hero, but he is because he's well known for his wrestling in Germany. He would probably be the hero's welcome per se. Matty's got a point. He's bobbing around with his fingers.
I got a fantastic point. We did have a hometown hero, Dane. We did. We had Ludwig Kaiser introduce Gunther to the ring, so we did get a hometown hero moment.
We did.
And he had a good match against LA Knight the night before as well. On SmackDown.
Yeah, on SmackDown.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But yes, they were battling for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's. I'm trying to find the right words for this. It's like, I think the match was fine. It is distinctly long, and it's accustomed to the usual sort of stuff we see from Randall. I keep going Randall. We usually see from Randy.
We're being polite.
I mean, I didn't have any. I mean, the result was never in doubt, but it's just like, I think that it's trying to get the styles to work quite well. They had a good. I think they had a good match at King and Queen of the Ring. Obviously, the pinfall thing happened. It's an actual nice thing that they've kind of gone, well, wait a minute. Let's see if we can solve this beef with another match here. And it makes sense for Randy being like the first person that Gunther takes on. But yeah, it ultimately became a lot about selling, and I will go into selling a lot more. I see Matty's keen to talk about this. Before I go down to what I did to try to keep our engagement with the match.
I mean, I could just jump straight to the point, Dane, or I could just wait it out for about 35 minutes to just get to the end of the journey, you know? God, I was bored.
But
I'm
Matty,
sorry.
But the journey is about the friends we made along the way, or the heavy chest.
And you did a very good job, Ian. You did a very good job. You did a very good job of making sure I was kept awake throughout this match, Dane. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yet again, friendship is indeed magic. But I'm sorry. If you gave me an edited highlights reel of this match, great. The wrestling, to be fair, great. I do not want to watch a 37-minute long Randy Orton match. I just don't. Randy Orton, bless his cotton socks. Great. Don't put him in long matches. Triple H, have you learned nothing? Of course you haven't, because you're Triple H. You love very long, bloody main events. You love it. You love it. I will say Volta was an absolute darling of this entire match, though. And not much else I can really say to disparage this. It just went on too long. And lot of the padding There was so much padding that didn't need to be there. This match would have been a great match if it was on for about 10, 15 minutes. We got over 30. We got nearly 40 minutes. That's too much.
That's including intros and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one of. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, Harriet. It's fine.
I was thinking it kind of really started off slow. And I was just like, but we even said, is it going to pick up? It did towards the end, as it usually does. But it was very much like, yeah, come on, let's just get into it sort of thing. That it was very heavy hitting at times. Don't get me wrong. There was a few moves on there that made you think, oh, Jesus. But also, it's kind of like, but we always knew what the foregone conclusion was going to be, but it was just like, so sort of thing. But to be fair, Matty was right. Ian kept us thoroughly entertained throughout this in regards to, because I was like, oh god, and then it was just like, no, I'm actually entertained by this now.
So we're gonna have to explain this, and we will feed over to you doing said impression in a moment, Ian. So basically, any moment where it felt like we had a lot of overly long padding in this match, and there was a lot of it from one Randall Keith Orton. Ian would then launch into a certain monologue. Ian will now, for the audio listeners at home and some of the stream, will now show us some of this fine acting at work right and now.
I'm gonna try and get the low. I've got to get the voice, because it's like you gotta go. You kind of have to go low. It's like American. It's hard. So tired. Gotta pick up the stairs. I'm not gonna pick up the other part of the stairs. I just won my 15th world championship. I'm gonna sit down for a sec. All right, let's move on. It's not a good impersonation, but
it was still great.
It was the half-arsery of it that really made it, because us watching the action unfold whilst listening to Dane do that, it just made it. It absolutely made it for us, more than the match itself did, because it downsells it too much. It was a good match, just went on way too long. Volta was great throughout. I did say at one point there was a lot of shoulder-based offense from both of them, just working the same parts.
It's like, I hear you've got an issue with your shoulder. Let me work that out for you. Okay, my turn. Yeah, my turn.
Yeah, it literally was offense upwards from the chest upwards. Yeah. There was nothing really down there, like compared to other matches. It was just more, let's focus on knocking the head off each other, literally.
I mean, I get it. One was trying to basically destroy Randall's obvious buggered up shoulders that he's had issues with for decades. Literally in his rookie year, he had a buggered shoulder. And then in return, Randy was working over the working hand, the working arm of one Gunther.
The right backhand. Backhand.
So he wouldn't chop the crap out of him. I get it, but it was funny where it was like, well, you're both just working the same parts over and over again in the first half of this match. And it's like, can you do another move, please?
There was obviously some key things. You had Walter being launched into tables several times. Not Walter, Gunther, sorry. Gunther being dropped through the table on top of the elevated steps. It was like he went through I think he got hit on the table first, and then Randy just went, no, I'm going to go up an extra level, and then I'm going to dump him even further down. So it's like there are some really good moments of just good offense, but then yes, you have the elongated rest hold, or both of them just so tired that it's an inconvenience for them just to slightly move a bit. Until they realized they had to get into another position for a move or something. I don't know.
It got to a point that even the hydration station bottles were knocked down, and we even noticed that they were put back up.
Randy might have wondered. Where it's like, oh, I'm dehydrated, man. I need. Oh yeah. Prime. Yeah,
The bottle
yeah,
was
I'm
Sponsored
gonna
Randy.
go.
Are you actually are you licensed to drink that, Randy? Are you
Oh
Cody
no,
Rhodes or Logan Paul?
there's not a Randall Keith Orton flavor. It should be orange with stripes and a snake or something like that. Should be orange. Randy, should we be back in the match?
Every time. Why do we do this to ourselves? Every time.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining Randy having these conversations while he's in the match, sweating, looking really tired.
Literally like Popeye drinks it. Back to normal.
Oh, we did that, didn't we? Every time there was a bulk up, I won't call it by his original name. Every time there was a bulk up, I started singing the Popeye theme.
That's why I did it.
Oh my god! Oh.
I mean,
This
I
is
have checked Cage. I have checked Cage match. The match was 34 minutes and 28 seconds.
Oh,
Too long.
way too
It was
long.
too
way
long.
Too long. I think it was the thing. One, was Randy the right opponent in the first place? That's the thing.
I think to get like the nod of approval and the rub from like a big name performer, because at the end of the match they had the handshake as well, all that sort of stuff. I think having a match against Randy was probably good to have as even for the first defense. I think trying to bring in someone, because I know the dream matches, I think everyone just wants to see the rebirth of the dream match of Ilya and Gunther. I think it is going to happen down the line, but it's like there's plenty of other like talent who haven't had a chance to kind of take on Gunther just yet. It's like I personally feel the person who will defeat Gunther is going to be John Cena at some point as part of like the retirement tour. I think that's my gut telling me that's who's going to probably take the belt. It'll be a short reign for Cena, but that's what I'm kind of thinking. But that's just me. But no, I
agree with all your points. Sorry for butting in. Literally,
no worries.
But you absolutely needed to happen. They needed to right the wrong they did with King of the Ring. As Dane says, it's a case of you need somebody credible to basically enhance Gunther here. We want Gunther to remain a credible threat. I do want him to have a pretty long title reign, but for it to not go stale either. And you need people like Randy for that. You really do. I wouldn't mind him fighting Sami Zayn again at some point down the line. You know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree with everything Ian says there. Even including John Cena, because I think WWE definitely want to take Ric Flair's title reigns. I think they want somebody to knock that off the perch eventually. Yeah. So the best person you can do that with is probably going to be John Cena, because that is definitely the fact. But if you like him or hate him, it really doesn't matter. That is the face of a generation. And I don't see why it would be harmful to give him that title reign on one last road before he's done so. So I would like to see John Cena as a champion again, for just a tiny while.
You could do what he did when he won the belt in 2016. It's like he wins at Rumble. He lost the Elimination Chamber, but you could let Cena win it at Rumble or something like that. Or maybe he wins the Rumble, wins it at Mania, or something like that. It's like there's different ways you can make it work. But it kind of, at the moment, unless you really build up someone like Dragunov again, because they built Dragunov off considerably until he took the title off, the NXT UK title off Gunther at Stand and Deliver. There was a lot of building up to make that happen. And I think you either have to invest that time in someone who's going to win the belt off him, or you have it in like a legend, a moment for a big star, or basically it's a big moment for whoever wins it. So you need to use that right. I mean, it's like, I think that until obviously like all the issues, the legal issues came up, I think another star that would probably given a good sort of like endorsement of Gunther would have been Lesnar, for example. Because I
Yes.
mean, a lot of people were looking at Mania being Lesnar versus Gunther, but that never really happened, which was a shame. But then obviously the legal stuff happened. So yeah, I think for Gunther's reign to be good or to be strong is basically really good, like good matches, which we are seeing. And just basically the opponents that he takes on need to have some, I hate to say the word credibility, but it's like they need to kind of like be big kind of names. It's like when Reigns had his final like entrance as Universal Champion and WWE Champion, and Cole's reeling off the names of who he's defeated to hold on to that belt. You get Gunther to that stage of being able to reel out like big names. It's like he's defeated Randy Orton. He's defeated, I don't know, big random name off the top of my head. He's defeated, I don't know, Rey Mysterio. That sort of those sort of names, and you kind of get to that sort of stage. That's what I'm thinking with the Gunther range. I think for this match, yes, it is a bit too long. It's fine, the right results, and yeah, I think ultimately it's like you get the shine and you get the endorsement from Orton, really, which is a good thing. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the match. Any final thoughts on that match?
I agree with you in that if you're a title holder, you're only as good as your opponents you face. This was the right call. I would like to see who else steps up to the challenge of facing Gunther. I would like to see Drew do it at some point. I would love to see that.
They had an all right match at a SummerSlam a couple of years ago.
They did
during the Intercontinental, but I think they could probably do better.
I will also say, for anyone who says, well, wasn't his long Intercontinental title reign like like enhancement enough for him? Well, not really. Because when you become a world champion, they just start remembering your world championship reigns. It historically it always is. When you think Bret Hart, most of the time you don't really think about his Intercontinental reigns, and there were incredibly good matches in that lot. You mostly think of when he was world champion. Same with Shawn Michaels. Same with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. The list goes on and on. As soon as they hold that main strap above their head, that's what you remember amongst all else. That is the absolute peak. So for this to happen, as soon as Gunther becomes world champion, there's a reset button. And this is where he then has to basically maintain that title with strong opponents, and this is why we say what we say. Other than that, I've got nothing else to say except I was incredibly bored. Thank you for entertaining me, Ian.
Harriet.
Yeah, I think right person won. I mean, it would have been very surprising if Randy did win. It did go in a bit too long, but thoroughly entertained in the chat just to help keep it going. So yeah, I'll be intrigued as to see who Gunther has to fight next.
I mean, we really haven't shouted out the now CM Punk approved artist Filoni. Now,
oh
yes.
Oh yes.
So throughout the call,
throughout the call, we were joined by Filoni, who is one of the member of our community in BunkaMania. They do streams with Jeremy Graves every sort of Friday as well. They rarely watch wrestling. So when we talk about it, it's kind of like okay, this is a weird experience thing. But I think this is the first time they probably got to kind of see the show or kind of see some of the stuff that we're watching. But yeah, it's just like they did a very lovely drawing of Larry the dog. And yes, it got the endorsement, and I think like the face with hearts in the eyes emoji from CM Punk, which was like, yay, lovely.
And they only discovered Larry the dog during our Discord call. And it's like in real time, the whole time we were watching the show, they went from discovering this dog, saying how uniquely attractive this dog was, and went on to do the drawing of the dog on their phone the whole way through, and then presenting the finished article about a couple of hours after. I was like, we watched that happen in real time.
We did literally just that all the way through. It was great. I love watching Felf draw. I've seen them draw. I could just watch Felf for hours just draw because it's just that you can see the creative mind going like, I could do this, I could do that. It's just, yeah. So I'm very glad to see Punk approved of it. So that was great.
And also more of an endorsement in that they are not a wrestling fan at all.
No.
And yet they enjoyed this. They enjoyed watching the show in our company.
They learn through us or through memes, Simpsons memes, which is how we
Simpsons wrestling memes.
Yeah, which is a great. I think Jeremy as well teaches them a few bits and pieces as well. So yeah, but it was very good to watch with Alf. It really was.
Yes.
Speaking about community, thank you very much to Al Wants to Play Games, who has just given us a tier 1 sub for 3 months. So thank you very much.
Yay!
Very much
Thank you. It is also, I think it's also September over on Twitch.
It is.
You get some discounts on your subs depending on how long you subscribe. So I don't know everything off the top of my head, but yes, September is your best time to start supporting your creators. So thank you so much, Al Wants to Play Games. I know Al wants to play games over on my personal channel as well. So yes, thank you for your support. It's always greatly appreciated. Right, so I think it's safe to say Bash in Berlin, fun show, not life changing, but if you like good wrestling, you like good WWE entertainment style wrestling, you can do you can't really go wrong with this. So I wouldn't say, unless you're really invested in the tag team titles, you probably could have skipped this, to be perfectly honest. But there's something about that. It's something about the Berlin crowd that just makes it really fun, I suppose. Yes. But
also, heck yes, they're using Baby Metal as their theme with Electric Callboy. I was proper bumping along whenever they came on.
Wonderful post-show video with that song,
yes,
edited perfectly.
So good.
Yes, absolutely. But the wrestling keeps going on forever here on BunkaMania, because I think next week it's all out.
Free for free.
Manny's probably going to be here next Sunday, chatting and Harriet chatting with Jeremy. Obviously, depends who's able to watch the show and so forth. So yes, they are going to be here next week talking about All Out. And then we've got a little bit of a respite in wrestling for a little bit longer. And then I think we kick up again with Bad Blood at the start of October. By then we'll be into CW NXT time as well. So it'll be interesting to see. There is no Mercy happening tonight. I'll probably watch the show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Usually with NXT shows nowadays, you kind of go in with like low expectations. You don't really expect much, and you end up finding yourself thoroughly rewarded and entertained. I mean,
yes,
I will say there's a 99% chance that Joe Hendry is not winning the NXT title tonight. But what if he did?
Yeah.
It's like if you want to capitalize on a moment on like a wrestler who is over across the entire industry, put the belt on Hendry and make history as like the first active TNA wrestler and now NXT, because it's so weird, it's so fascinating and weird, but also quite interesting how the sort of contract of him being able to work both has turned out. And it's just like, this is very unique. So hopefully
even Rosemary turned up in NXT this week. I was very happy. I will say that she was one of my favorites in TNA. So
yeah, I think we are probably working towards a Worlds Collide PLE. I really hope we are working toward a Worlds Collide, because that was like one of the last major kind of like crossover things they did, like NXT US versus NXT UK versus 205 Live, and that was like a really cool like super show. Had a really cool the main event was really cool. That was like Imperium versus Undisputed Era, and that was like I think Alexander Wolf unfortunately took like a bit of a bad bump or something like that, and he kind of had to be removed from the match. But again, it was still quite a fun match kind of thing. So I think if we can work towards Worlds Collide, I would be very excited for that. I really would. And also tonight, an arena singing along to the Joe Hendry theme. That's gonna be something. I really will be.
The universal of
yes. Yes. I mean, I sense cheeky. I sense silly storyline bollocks is going to go on, and it'll probably cost Henry, because Trick Williams is a special guest referee against with the match between him and between Hendry and Page. And I still like it. I still like Ethan Page as a champ as well. It's good fun. It's entertaining. So yes, I'll be watching that. We probably won't be doing a show on that, to be perfectly honest, because there's too much wrestling going on. There's so much wrestling going on forever.
I need a break.
No, you don't.
But
You
no.
need to watch more. You need to watch more wrestling movies, Matty. You need to watch more wrestlers in movies, that sort of stuff.
Hey, that's your gig. That's your gig. You two signed up for that, not me.
You'll be part of it sooner or later. Anyway, so yes, we've got All Out review hopefully happening next Sunday. There's plenty of brand new content coming. We've just launched BunkaMania Goes to the Movies. A couple of weeks ago, we did the review of Jackpot starring John Cena and Awkwafina. The three of us reviewed it. It's a great little fun little 40-minute video. So if you want to dive into the world of movies, by all means do check it out over on the YouTube channel. That show is exclusive to YouTube and will also be on audio podcast feeds as well. We will be launching Watchlist very, very soon. That is our streaming review show. So we're talking about all things on Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon. I think the first show we're going to talk about is Terminator Zero, which I watched 2 episodes of, and I'm already sad. In a good way, not in the like I hate this. It's like, oh great, now I can fear the future of AI again.
So I'm going to watch it as soon as we finish this.
Yes, no, the first 2 episodes are really good at the moment, so I'm enjoying them now. There will be more BunkaMania Goes to the Movies. I think our next film review is going to be Beetlejuice. I think next week. Yes, because it's out on Friday next week. And then also what we will try and do every month is we're going to do a special BunkaMania Goes to the Movies with a wrestling-focused theme. Now, before we added it as a main show on the channel, we did a few special audio episodes where we talked about films like The Condemned, Bending the Rules, Edge, oh, you cheeky sod, bending all the rules, and Rusev Have a Gun in Countdown. So we are going to be doing some special ones every month. So every month we're going to focus on a particular film with a well-known wrestler, whether it be WWE Studios or weird stuff like Money Plane. So I think our current plan for September is going to be The Chaperone. When we move into Halloween for October, we're going to do the double bill of See No Evil 1 and 2. That's going to be a 2-part event. Matty will be involved in some way. Those two, not me. Yes, I mean, yes, Blu-ray copy. November is going to be Money Plane, which I really want. I think, Matt, you're going to love Money Plane.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
It's only an hour and 20 minutes. It's fine.
Just for Fraser. Come on. Swearing Fraser.
It's like he's the Kelsey Grammer's The Rumble. You can't miss it, Matty. And then Christmas, I think we're looking at one of Miz's Christmas films. It's either going to be Santa's Little Helper with Paige or Saraya, or it'll be Christmas Bounty. It probably will be Santa's Little Helper because it looks silly and stupid at the same time. So yes, that's a nice little layup of some fun content coming to BunkaMania very, very soon. If you'd like to be notified when we have that content available or when we go live, hit the follow button on Twitch. It's completely free to do so. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Again, completely free to do so. And when we go live or when fresh episodes appear in feeds, you'll be notified straight away. If you are watching us on demand and you want to share your thoughts, you can do by emailing us at contact@bunkamania.com, or if you're on YouTube, throw a comment in the comment box below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the show, where you think some of these storylines are going. And I think that's the main sort of BunkaMania business out of the way. Of course, we all have our own little channels, our own little content creation sites as well. And let's start off with, let me get my mouse over the right area. Matty, tell us all about your stuff.
Hello, you can find me on Threads and Instagram under MattyBoo Super, but you can also find me on this very site known as Twitch under MattyBoo Tweets. I came back today, this morning, with a whole new look, a whole new intro, a whole new logo, and a whole new microphone that occasionally comes out in my color scheme, and I really like it. And we had a good time. We played some Stardew. We watched the Power Stone cartoon, and surprisingly, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. And we came back with some more Nightmare with the Pickle, who's not that annoying. And unfortunately, it had some racial stereotypes in there as well, which we might have to gloss over in future episodes. It was the style of the time. But I will be back next weekend. Indeed, I will be back. I will be starting a new playthrough of The Wolf Among Us. And so hopefully you will enjoy that. And I will be back with some more Sunday, probably afternoon matinee that day, depending on what I do with Giraffe and Me.
Thank you very much, Matty. Harriet, over to you.
You could also find me here on Twitch at Harriet_Manga Girl. I will be back streaming on Tuesday. Probably playing Thank Goodness You're Here or Thank God You're Here. It's a weird game, but it's probably gonna be very surreal, but probably a good laugh as well. You could also find me on Twitter, X at MangaGirl232. I usually post my schedule when I'm going live that day or whatever I'm streaming. YouTube as well. Monday Night War reactions have just finished, and last Friday, I think it was Friday, I uploaded the KetaMania panel I ran at KetaCon, and seems to be going down well. Had to edit a little tiny bit because WWE pretty much went, no, you're not having that. So so there is a edit and stuff underneath. But yes, you can find me at MangaGirl232 on YouTube as well. Or if you just type in, I don't know, wrestling reactions, you usually find me there. But yes, usually find me on Twitter, where I post most of my stuff.
Thank you very much. And you can follow me over on Twitch as well with the Dekker Dane, all one word. I stream Monday nights from 8 o'clock. We look at old TV that we can find on YouTube. At the moment, we're in an animation season, so we're watching Visionaries, Dog City, and Extreme Dinosaurs. I also stream midweek on Wednesday, early evenings. I do a bit of wacky Fortnite. I try to win a game of Fortnite. You can help or hinder me with channel points. It's a load of fun. For you, not for me. It's painful. It really is. I kid. And then so we might do that a couple of times on Wednesdays. Wednesdays might be Fortnite. Wednesdays might also be a different game. I'm looking at some different games that I want to try and play or do a playthrough at least. So I've got things like RoboCop, Rogue City. I've got Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 5. I'm currently enjoying playing Deathloop through Xbox Game Pass, and it's a fun game that I might actually share on stream as well. So plenty of stuff going on the channel. But yes, if you'd like to join me, you're more than welcome to. Right, and I think apart from that, that is today's episode of BunkaMania over and done with. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. It is greatly appreciated. From me, the Dekker Dane, from Matty, from Harriet, we will see you guys very, very soon. Until next time, bye-bye.